Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the GE Refrigerator Dispenser Auger. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new dispenser auger. The dispenser auger is located in the ice bucket, and it's what pushes the ice out the dispenser. The main reason to be changing it is if it's corroded and you're getting rust on your ice. In order to change the part, we have to open up the freezer door. With the door open, we can reach in and pull up the ice bucket. All you have to do is lift up and pull out. With the ice container out of the freezer, we can carefully set it on the front and use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the 4 screws that hold the bucket to the front. Once you have the 2 on the inside taken off, we're going to turn it over and take the 2 off the bottom that hold it in. If the screw falls inside, you can just dump it out in a minute when we take the other screw out. With the 4 screws out that hold the bucket to the front, we have to take this screw out that's located at the rear of the ice container. It holds the actuator bar onto the back of the bucket. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take it out. Once you have the screw out, you can just let the bar go, and then we can take the whole ice container and lay it flat on the ground. With all the screws out, we have to separate the ice bin from the front. It sits underneath this lip right here, so we're just going to lift up on the bucket and let that drop off so we can pull it back. Once you have it out, we can slide it back just far enough so we can get the drive cup out. Just set it in the bin so we don't lose it, and then we can pull the bin off and set it aside. Once you have the ice bin removed, we're going to set it on the front again, and then we're going to remove these 2 screws that hold the front onto the auger assembly. With the screws out, we can lift the assembly up and set the front aside. Now we can lift the assembly up so we can take this E-clip and washer off. All you have to do is take a flathead screwdriver and pop it off. Once you have the E-clip off, we can remove the washer. And set that aside. And then we're going to take our 1/4-inch nut driver and remove these 3 screws that hold the ice crusher housing onto the front. Once you have those 3 screws out, we're going to lay the assembly back down so we can take it apart. Now we can take the front crusher assembly off. We have to kind of flip it on its side so we can disconnect this actuator arm from the ice door. You're going to have to just kind of lift it up and guide it out so we can pull the crusher housing off. Now we can take off the front plate. You're going to have to pick up the auger assembly and guide the teeth out through the opening. All you have to do is move them around and back and forth until it comes off the plate. Once you have the plate off, you can set it aside. Now that we have the auger assembly completely out of the bin, we have to take all the teeth and everything off. So we're going to remove this plastic nut on the end. We're just going to use pliers and very carefully loosen it up. You might want to make sure you don't damage the plastic nut. It's just regular thread, so counterclockwise to take it off. Once you have it loose, you can just turn it by hand. Once you have the nut off, you can set it aside, and then we're going to take all the teeth and spacers off and set them aside in the same order so we remember where they go, and we can put them back on in the same order. This section right here comes off all as one piece because it's attached to this white piece. Once you have that off, you can set it aside as one piece. And then we can take this last spacer off, and then the last chopper. Once you have all that off, we can take the drum and the drive piece off. Same as the other ones, all you have to do is slide them off and set them aside. Now that we have the dispenser auger assembly taken apart, we can pull it out so we can put the new one in and put it all together. Before you put the auger assembly back together, you want to make sure you clean as much of the rust off of these parts as you can. Here's the old dispenser auger next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. Before we put the new dispenser auger back into the bin, we have to put everything back together. So same as we took it off, we're just going to slide it back onto the auger in order. First one was the bar, and we're going to put the up towards the teeth. And then we have the drum. We're just going to slide that on and make sure it lines up with the notches, the bar. Then we can put everything else on. We're going to put the first blade on. And then the spacer. And then the middle assembly. And the next spacer. Then we can put the last set of teeth on. And then we can put the nylon nut that holds it all together. Remember, it's just regular thread, so we're going to thread it on clockwise. If you have to, you can grab the pliers again and tighten it down. Once you have the nut tightened down, we can put the assembly together. To put the auger assembly onto the faceplate, we're going to carefully guide everything through the faceplate opening. Once you have it so where the drum is against the faceplate, then we can set it down so we can put the front dispenser cover on. We're going to make sure that this white block here goes into this opening right here. And then we can put the 3 screws in that hold it onto the front, onto the plate. Once you have the auger nut coming through the front, you can line the 3 holes up and we can put the screws in. Now that we have the dispenser cover attached, we can put in the washer and the E-clip that hold this on. If you have to, you can use a screwdriver to push the E-clip back into place. Once you have the E-clip installed, we can lay this back down. Next, we can hook up the arm that opens and closes the flapper valve for crushed or cubed ice. You want to make sure that these 2 little ears right here are one on each side of the metal plate, so it's centered where it needs to be. And then you're going to have to reach in and lift up the door and kind of move the bar around so we can snap it into place. Once you have it in place, we can lay the auger assembly back on its bottom. Now we can put the front on. We're just going to lift it up and kind of rotate it over so we can line it up and put the screws in, hold it on. While we have it in this position, we can go ahead and put the rest of the ice bin back on, but first we're going to set the drive cup onto the end of the auger. All you have to do is set it down into place so that the auger comes through that little cutout, and then we can put the bucket on. You want to make sure that this little seal didn't fall off. If it did, make sure you put it back in place so we get a seal down at the bottom of the ice bin. Then you can rotate it over. You may have to swing this bar out of the way so we can put the bin down onto the faceplate. Once you have it lined up, then you can tip it up. You have to make sure that the front of the bin goes underneath this little bar right here, and that the little tabs go into each of those cutouts. Once you have the ice bin in place, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to put in the 2 lower screws. Now that we have the 2 lower screws in, we can reattach the bracket that holds the dispenser bar. All we have to do is line up the spring and this little clip so it goes over the plastic. Once you have it in place, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screw back in. Once you have the screw tightened down, we have to wrap the spring around the bar. So you want to just take and push it around the bar and hook it underneath so it gets a spring tension on the flapper down at the other end, and it should move freely. Now that you have the bar reinstalled, we can turn the ice bucket assembly around and put in the last 2 screws that hold the bucket and the front together. Now that we have the ice container put back together, we can put it back in the freezer. All you have to do is line it up with the shelves and push it back into place. Once you have it all the way in, you can close the freezer door. Now that you have the new part installed, you can plug the refrigerator back in and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.